Hello, you are watching Shalom World News. I'm Rudy McLennan coming to you from Glasgow, Scotland. Here are the latest headlines from around the world. As the Scottish Parliament prepares to consult the public about legalising assisted suicide in the country, a coalition of Christian and other faith groups is preparing to fight for the protection of life. The Care Not Killing Coalition consists of representatives of the Catholic Church, the Christian Medical Fellowship, Christian Action Research and Education or CARE, the Christian Institute and the Evangelical Alliance. Strongly opposing the attempts to legalise euthanasia or assisted suicide, the Care Not Killing Coalition said that the legislation would especially affect people who are disabled, elderly, sick or depressed. They also highlighted that legalising assisted suicide would accentuate pressure on people to end their lives at this time of economic flux, with families and health budgets under pressure because of the COVID-19 pandemic. The United States Catholic Bishops' Conference has decried the provisions of the Women's Health Protection Act that was passed by the House of Representatives on September the 24th. The bishops warned that the act will allow abortions until birth without any meaningful limits. The act, introduced by Judy Chu, a Democratic representative from California, was passed by a vote of 218 to 211. While removing restrictions on pre-viability abortions and overriding pro-life laws at state level, the Act also prevents any curbs on late-term termination of pregnancy in cases where the life or health of the mother is at risk. Archbishop Joseph Naumann of Kansas City, who is also the Bishop Conference's pro-life chair, said the bill will also mandate public funding of abortion and coerce healthcare workers to perform or assist in medical termination of pregnancy against their conscience. Earlier on Wednesday, Archbishop Samuel Aquila of Denver had reiterated church teaching that all abortions are evil. The Holy Father Pope Francis has expressed his closeness to the displaced people on the island of La Palma in the Spanish Canary Islands. The island had been hit by a volcanic eruption. The powerful eruption of Cumbre Vieja volcano on September the 19th caused thousands of residents to flee. On Sunday, the Holy Father invited everyone to pray for the displaced people and rescue personnel through the intercession of the Virgin Mary, who is specially venerated as Our Lady of Snows on the island. Authorities claim that the quick evacuation of more than 6,000 individuals managed to avert casualties on the island, which has roughly 85,000 residents. The eruption is the first in more than half a century. The island's airport that was initially forced to close because of falling volcanic ash has now also reopened. However, experts have warned that lava flow might linger for much longer, causing more havoc. The video of a Spanish city councillor praying the Hail Mary at the end of a debate for women who seek an abortion has gone viral on the internet.
Dios te salve María, llena eres de gracia, el Señor es contigo.
Councillor Paula Badanelli of the Vox Party said the prayer during the plenary session of the Córdoba City Council, during which she harshly criticised the efforts of the left to stifle those who defend life. During the debate on September the 23rd, she reiterated that Spain is a free country and any believer can pray anywhere. This comes in the wake of the nation's lower house advancing a bill that criminalises prayers and pro-life campaigns outside abortion clinics. She ended her speech saying she was going to say a Hail Mary in solidarity with all women who are praying outside abortion centres. Christian advocacy group For the Martyrs organised its second March for Martyrs in Washington, D.C. on September the 25th. Hundreds took part in the march, led by For the Martyrs Foundation Gia Chacon, expressing solidarity with persecuted Christians around the world. Although Chacon and most of the For the Martyrs Advisory Board members are Catholics, the march was an ecumenical event, featuring many speakers from Protestant ecclesial communities. The event began with a kick-off rally from the 12th Street Gravel to the National Mall, followed by the march to the White House, before ending at the J.W. Marriott Hotel. Chacon, who is a famous activist, writer and orator, said the march's venue was shifted from the West Coast to the East Coast, so as to make the voices of suffering Christians heard in the national capital. The Australian state of Queensland that recently decriminalised euthanasia is now seeking to overhaul a federal law that prevents doctors from offering advice on suicide to the terminally ill over the phone or the internet. Although 5 out of 6 states have legalised euthanasia, the federal government has refused to exempt doctors from being prosecuted for offering advice on euthanasia to terminally ill patients over the phone or the internet. It was in 2005 that a law was passed preventing doctors from encouraging suicide, and this is punishable by a fine of $222,000. Queensland Premier Anastasia Palaszczuk has made it clear that she would write to the Prime Minister to amend the criminal code. Earlier, the spokesperson for Federal Attorney General Michaela Cash had said that the government has no plans to amend the suicide-related material offences in the Commonwealth Criminal Code. Switzerland, which was one of the last countries in Western Europe where same-sex marriage was illegal, has decided to decriminalise it following a referendum. During the vote on September the 26th, 64.1% of those who voted in favour of same-sex marriage. The proposed legislation allowing it has the backing of the Swiss government and all major political parties except the People's Party. Even though same-sex couples could register their partnership since 2007, they did not enjoy marital rights. The proposed legislation also allows same-sex couples to adopt children and lesbian couples to have children through artificial insemination. Switzerland is the 30th country in the world to legalise same-sex marriage. Amid the ongoing waves of the COVID-19 pandemic in Canada, the annual Silent Sidewalk gathering of pro-lifers will take place across the country on October the 3rd. The event, named Life Chain, will bring together thousands of pro-life supporters in 200 places across Canada for a quiet vigil on the sidewalk, holding placards with slogans such as "Abortion hurts women" and "Adoption, the loving option." The participants will face drivers and passers-by in cities. Organisers of Life Chain have urged participants to bring masks and hand sanitisers and to maintain social distancing. In the Archdiocese of Vancouver, the event will be held in cities such as Abbotsford, Burnaby, Maple Ridge and Vancouver. The first Life Chain was organised in California in 1987 and the Campaign Life Coalition championed the same in Canada in 1990. And those are your latest headlines. Do join us again tomorrow. In the meantime, you can visit swnews.org for more updates. Shalom.